I'm not necessarily one for pre-built desktops, especially ones that you can pick up in places like PC World, like this Asus G11CB, but this one specifically was quite confusing. Stick around. Check out our website at techteamgb.co.uk for more info on both this and many other products, and also up-to-date news on all things tech. Stick around for this awesome video. So this is a pre-built PC, something that you can pick up in places like PC World, and it's from Asus. Now, generally speaking, that's not too bad. You might have a little bit of a price premium, as you can kind of expect from, well, both PC World and all that sort of stuff. You do get a fairly decent wireless keyboard and mouse, comes with batteries and a USB receiver, and that's alright. That's not necessarily gaming grade at all, but you know, it's fair enough. It's generally free in the box, that's cool. Also, you get a DVD drive, an SD card reader, 2 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, and some cool kind of front LEDs. Now, the spec of this is the real confusing part, as well as the price tag. So the spec is an Intel i7 6700 non-K, 16 gigs of DDR4, a fairly budget but okay motherboard, an SK Hynix 128GB SSD and a 2TB hard drive, a Delta power supply, and a GTX 745. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, the rear I/O is pretty comprehensive with USB 3.1, USB 3, Gigabit Ethernet, decent audio, and the graphics card has an output of VGA, HDMI and DVI, and also on the top you get this kind of tray to put things down on, as well as headphone and microphone jacks, and the front LED lighting is basically two zones. You have a single RGB area and then basically just on-off control over the red areas in the zone 2. Now, in terms of performance, this is where this really kind of struggles. The CPU is great, as you can see in the Cinebench score, but if you're looking at gaming, this really gets kind of pulled down. As you can see, the kind of average is around about 15 FPS, and this is on low settings on 1080p, so you're really going to struggle here. And you can see even in the sort of Asus Realbench score, when you talk about OpenCL, which uses the graphics card, that score is pulled way down. Also, the price tag, just about £1,100.
So as I said at the start of the video, I don't really understand this system. There's some cool things about it, but there's also some very strange things. So the CPU and RAM, you know, i7 6700 and the 16 gigs of RAM, that's great. That's a really nice, you know, place to be, and especially at the RRP of £1,100, that's what I'd expect in this kind of system. Now, the motherboard isn't something that I would necessarily recommend if you're going to go buy one, especially with, you know, an i7, but that's the kind of thing you would expect in a pre-built PC, so fair enough, right? The power supply, again, same thing. It's not one I'd personally buy, but it does have enough connectivity. I expect it to be fairly reliable, and it's the sort of thing that you would see in a pre-built PC. And again, kind of same with the case, although the case does actually have some nice lighting on the front and generally good aesthetics on the outside, but you know, not necessarily inside, as these sort of PCs are likely the ones to be bought by people who don't really necessarily want to look inside all that much. But the confusing thing is the graphics card. It's a GTX 745, it's an OEM only graphics card, and it's pretty, well, naff. You're looking at, if you're trying to run at 1080p, you're looking at low to medium settings, and for £1,100 RRP, or even the £900 model from PC World that's currently stocked with an an i3 6400, I think, it's just not good enough for gaming, really. It's the sort of card that you really don't necessarily want to buy on its own, let alone in a pre-built system, and for that much. And I can't really understand kind of Asus's point on this one, as the rest of the system seems okay, that's fine. And for the configuration that you have, if it had a 970 or even a 980, this price point would suit it perfectly. It'd be competitive, it'd be nice, it'd be great, but considering I've checked out things like the Yoyotech RS10, which has an i5 6600K, I think it's 8 gigs of RAM, but it has a GTX 960, which is perfect for 1080p gaming, and that's 600 quid. So the difference here doesn't make sense to me, and I can't really kind of get my head around it. Now, in terms of like CPU performance, awesome, but for a gaming PC, which is kind of what this is marketed as, There just isn't one really. So that's the pros and cons. Scoring is going to be a 3 for 5 for money. It really isn't all that great, and it might even drop down to a 2 if I so feel like it. Let's call it 2.5. But yeah, in terms of performance, that's going to be a 3 just because it can play games, but only just. I mean, an AMD APU probably would do the same job as this, one of sort of A10 ones, so yeah. Also, functionality, I'm going to say it's a 4 because the case is nice. It's got some RGB lighting. It's got USB 3.1, no Type C, but nice that it has 3.1. It's got Wi-Fi built in as well, so that's quite nice. And in terms of TechTeamGB score, style, is going to be a 3 because the outside's quite nice, but the inside isn't all that great. And that's just kind of a gamer kind of, custom built PC opinion. But yeah, and in terms of TechTeamGB score, it's going to be a 3 as well, just because it really doesn't make sense to charge that much for effectively so little in terms of gaming performance, unfortunately. So yeah, I think that pretty much rounds it off. If you've got any comments or any wisdom on the system, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. Feel free to subscribe for more awesome tech videos, like or dislike, but let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Check out Facebook and Twitter and some of the other videos as well. Check out Amazon if you want to buy, well, I wouldn't recommend this PC personally, but if you want to buy any tech products or anything else, really, check out the Amazon links in the description down below for that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next video.